How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Stuff of Nightmares Red Murder. This is written by R.L. Stine, and it's the Stuff of Nightmares series coming back, but after a little bit of reformatting. The original Stuff of Nightmares run was 4 issues that were all connected, telling one longer story. But we've changed things up, and I think for the better. This issue is extra thick. I think Amazon says it's like 50 pages or so. And it tells one complete story. And in, I believe, 2 months or so, we're going to get another one-shot that this time around will be a Christmas story. And I think that probably fits the theme better. Both classic anthology formats and what Stine has done in the past both work really well to telling more stories. You know, I do like that we're getting more stories in rapid fire. It really does help with the whole Nightmare Museum aspect and seeing all this different stuff and how they relate to a real story. I think it's better getting more stories like this rather than one longer one. And plus it's double thick, so you get some time to really sit and get invested. I think this is pretty cool. The story this time around is about a comic book character. You get this guy, Red Murder, who is like half slasher villain, half superhero. He falls into a bunch of vials of contaminated blood and gets compelled to kill people and drink their blood. A pretty dark comic character, but comics have gone dark in the past. But basically, in real life, the comic creator didn't get any rights to this book. Like, he created it under contract, so the big company's making millions. Like, they made several movies about this character, but he himself is not seeing any of that money. So he is super upset about that, and he himself as a figure is getting forgotten about. So yeah, getting screwed over, not having another big hit. You can see why this guy is in the dumps. Well, during a comic convention, a real-life Red Murder shows up and starts killing people. And it really does feel kind of like a Scream movie. You get several people dressed up as Red Murder, but only one is the real killer, killing people at this kind of self-aware event. And there's also a bit of a mystery element where you're introduced to a few different characters and don't know who is going to wind up being the killer towards the end of the book. It's, yeah, a really good, interesting, self-referential to comic books slasher story with a bit of that Scream feel behind it. And Red Murder himself is a really cool designed character. So overall, I really love this book. I can definitely recommend it, and I like the thicker, more anthology style that this book is going for. Can't wait for, what is the next one called, like Sleigh Ride or something? Yeah, Sleigh Ride for Christmas. I can't wait. But anyway, if you want to see me talk about this book in more specifics, we're going to switch over to the close-up camera. I'll show you guys a little bit of the story and the art. I won't do any major spoilers, but if you want to see more, let's go and switch over to the closer-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at Stuff of Nightmares Red Murder. Right off the bat, I want to say I really like this cover. We get the Red Murder character right there on the front, and there's a ton of red everywhere. Other than the logo, essentially a monochromatic cover, and he's killed a bunch of people at this convention, and we get to see that 2 of the people you could meet at this convention are the Nightmare Keeper and R.L. Stine. So a fun little gag, him being in there. This has the number 1 in the corner. I really wish it said one shot or something, because it makes it feel like there's going to be more, unless they label the other one shots with numbers as well, which I don't know if they'll do. But anyway, Stuff of Nightmares Red Murder gets the original artwork on the back, 01011. and $7.99. Now, $7.99 might seem like a bit, but bear in mind this is really thick and double length, so yeah, for what you're getting, it's totally worth it. And if we crack this open, we get to see Stuff of Nightmares Red Murder, this really cool drawing of the Nightmare Keeper, and written and created by R.L. Stine, illustrated by Adam Gorham, and cover by Francesco Francavilla. Now, if we go on, that is the story proper. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of the art and a little bit of the story. I won't be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and make sure you guys have the basic idea as to what this is about, but I'm not going to cover everything. I'm just going to do a little bit. But we open up, we actually kind of like a double cover, because inside, this is the first few pages of the comic within a comic. So we get this origin story for the Red Murder character, and, you know, there's some puns and some little jokes in here where they're talking about, oh, your boss thinks you're such a pushover, and I need you to handle this bad blood. So, yeah, a few jokes there. He literally does get pushed over, and he gets pushed into the bad blood, and now he's going to have the compulsion to drink the blood and go out and get more of it and become Red Murder. And it also mentions his tagline is he kills people and says, "Into the Murderverse," which is campy, but at the same time, man, I can totally see that being a thing with this character. Anyway, then we get the Nightmare Creeper there. That's the same image as the front, I think, and boy, that's a really good picture of him. But he talks and he makes some jokes, and he has his issue 1, but it's soaked in blood, of course. And he actually, it's at the end of the book when we see him again, but he makes a joke about how no jokes are too obvious for a horror comic. So I really do like that self-referential, overly cheesy nature, and I do like how the object is super directly tied in to the actual story. But we see the writer there, and we find out he made the book, but he's not necessarily super successful or famous. There's a part where he goes on this podcast, and they kind of joke about how he didn't get significant amounts of money because the company owned the character rather than him. He tried to make his own character Knife Man, which was supposed to be self-referential and a joke, but no one liked it. And the host of the podcast takes too many shots at him, and he storms off and leaves. And then we get into the comic book convention, where a bunch of people are really happy to celebrate the new Red Murder movie coming out. There's been a whole series. Well, the manager tries to get the actor out of the hotel room, and he sees the real Red Murder having killed this lady in the hotel room. So yeah, right off the bat, really cool design there. But anyway, that version of Red Murder runs off. The real actor shows up and is, of course, really, really shocked. So they don't think he did it. But did he? You don't know. You have a few suspects, and you get reoccurring killings. Red Murder goes up to these girls, says, "Hey, do you want to go backstage with me?" And of course they do. That is until you find out he's really a killer. So he's going to be picking people off. I like how sometimes when Red Murder goes crazy, his eyes go a little crazy too, and it gets a little bit abstract there. It's pretty fun, but we also get bits where he goes back to the hotel room and he's talking with his wife, and you get the emotions about how he gets screwed over. But he also references having this mysterious character, a brother who has been in quite a bit of trouble, and you don't know what's up with that, but it's going to definitely be one more wrench in the plot there. But yeah, very Scream, very self-referential, and a really good character there where, you know, it's like, you know, like the Hulk or Morbius, one of those characters that's, you know, really threatening, really dangerous, but is also kind of a superhero. Yeah, it's a pretty fun book, and having this double length is a good amount of time to explore the story and all its little twists and turns. Overall, I had fun with it, and I'll be really looking forward to the Christmas issue. Definitely can't wait. I hope they make a ton of these. I really do like them. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Stuff of Nightmares playlist, where you can see me talk about the last plot arc. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.